agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live. They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens, and demanding to see their papers. And at grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools, they're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street, just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them in unmarked vans, kidnapping innocent people with no warning.
Tonight, it's Tim Walz and that crapshoot. I've got the handy news. An election fraud that's been running wild across America because apparently nobody knows how to count. Plus, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Scott Jennings. Buckle up, hot dogs and tacos. I'm Scott. This is the OTPH Show. Now let's do the damn thing.
Are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live.
You see,
they're pulling over people indiscriminately.
This is the theatrics, right? I feel that the time is coming for this man because he allowed so much fraud to happen in our country. He's a turncoat. Not only is he a turncoat, he's a liar. It's absolutely incredible that this man was picked to be the vice president. Could you imagine if he was the vice president of this country right now? I mean, I'm not a huge fan of J.D. Vance. I'm not a huge fan of him at all. But at the same time, could you imagine this? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. I always want to know what you're thinking. Now back to the video.
Including U.S. citizens and demanding to see their papers.
Yeah. U.S. citizens. All right, let's go.
Grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools. They're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street, just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them.
None of that stuff happened, right? So let's not forget, okay? Let's not forget the tomfoolery that happened in Minnesota. None of this stuff would have happened if it was ran properly. Tim Walz forgot the one thing about his running the state or being the governor of the state, and that's governing the state. It's not a complicated process here. You are chosen to be the leader, but now you're the fool. This stuff bothers me.
Marked vans, kidnapping innocent people with no warning.
Yeah, what a meltdown. Blows my mind. These people absolutely blow me out of the water. Yeah, that's exactly what he is. Fucking dipshit. Yep. I don't even know what to say about it. He even looks like Tim Walz. Look at him. He even looks like Tim Walz. Stop it.
Are going door to.
It's just crazy. He even looks like Tim Walz. You know, this could be an actual martial artist in a fat suit just fucking around. Who knows? I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Anyways, I got more for you. But I mean, the guy stepping down from being a governor, in case anybody didn't know, he actually took a shot in the mouth. Now, this is alleged. He took a shot in the mouth from a horse, and his special fluid funneled across his lips and drizzled like a glazed donut, if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, what I'm saying is that bestiality runs rampant with him. Who are you and what happened to Dave? Well, I'm Scott. And Dave? Well, Dave has a life that he has to live. That's who I am. So I don't know what Dave's doing. Dave has children. Actually, Dave's actually going to Columbus soon. Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, Columbus. Ohio for a bowling tournament, so he won't be on the show for some time. So he's doing a great job. He'll pop in when he can. I let him know. He already knows he can come on whenever he wants. So, but he's also doing things with his son. Yeah, dude, I hope he does too. He's laser focused in on it. So should be a good time for him. I can't wait for her to have him back on, you know. But he's also has 2 maniac kids as well. Well, actually, one's getting close to graduating and the other one, well, you know. But here's something that a lot of people forgot about, and all this stuff gets swept under the rug real quick. Why isn't he streaming this? Well, that's because I don't know why. I have no idea, my brother. I wish I did know, but you know, he's got things to do. But this stuff over in that happened. Remember that Democrat official that was shot and killed at her home? Well, there's some ties with Tim Walz. Allegedly, there are ties with Tim Walz. Let's watch it.
Belter claims that Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota wanted him and approached him about killing United States Senator Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith. Belter claims in the letter that he wanted nothing to do with Governor Walz's plan and that he would go public if he insisted. Belter claims.
So the guy, Balder, 51-year-old, if anybody remembers what happened, this is exactly what happened after she came out publicly, and she's the one that voted no for free healthcare for illegal migrants. And when that happened, that interview was kind of creepy because you could hear it in her voice. She was really shaky and nervous. If you haven't seen it, you can go look it up online. But this right now is linking Boulder, the guy, was forced to do what he did. He hunted down these individuals. He had an actual hit list of, I think it was 50 different representatives. So, I mean, you tell me, you let me know. This guy was appointed by Walz, by the way. Let's not forget about any of this stuff. I know there's a lot of other things going on in the world, but this woman was butchered for her own vote and using common sense. It's absolutely wild. Let's keep going.
That people threatened to hurt his family if he didn't participate in this plan to murder Senators Klobuchar and Smith. Belter says in his letter that he met with people to talk about the request. And then when he arrived at the meeting, some people were waiting to kill him. Belter wrote that he was able to get away and that he went back a short time later and shot those people. The letter, as I said, is contained in an unsealed search warrant and will be.
This is fucking wild.
As I mentioned a month ago.
This is all stuff that's being swept under the rug. This is political violence at its finest. This lady was killed because of what she voted for. And there was another senator, I believe, that was shot and critically injured. I think they survived. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to go over all the details right now, but I'm just trying to show you or link everything together and the radical views and opinions. A lot of people don't know that Tim Walz went over to China and went over and visited China quite often and was a very huge fan of the Communist Party of China. And here in this show, if you're a fan of communism, well, you might want to catch rocks real quick because we're going to upset you a lot here. A lot of patriotism runs rampant. And what needs to happen is we need to have a full reset and a thorough investigation of the criminals and crooks that take advantage and run our government like a mafia. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's criminal. And you should be ashamed because you cloak yourself in one of the greatest doctrines ever written by man and by any human being. There's nothing better than the Constitution besides the Bible. And here we are. We're disgracing it with this kind of behavior. You're supposed to be a representative and a leader. Okay. You fucking served in our army. How many more people like Tim Walz or with his ideology serve? and the combat forces, they should be thoroughly scanned. Absolutely. Everybody has their own way. Everybody has their own thing. I get it. But at the same time, communism does not go along with capitalism. And it definitely does not go along with, liberty and justice for all. Definitely does not. You show me the man, I'll show you the crime. Right? Communism at its finest. I mean, let's think about the butchering of millions upon millions of individuals. Let's look at Mao Zedong, where they were eating fucking tree bark. Everybody wants to talk about, the Holocaust and everything like that, and we should. It was a brutal part of history. But let's think about the 12 million Russians that were butchered by their own government at that time. Stalin was a sick man. Nobody intervened. These people want that kind of stuff. It's absolutely incredible. You're incredible. Thank you for being here. Let's finish up this video. Oh, it's over. Shit. All right, fair enough. I'm going to save that video, though. I'm definitely going to save that video. Quit stalling there, boy. That's funny, Red. You're so punny, Red. Thanks for being here tonight, buddy. I really do appreciate you. And a lot of this stuff is all for, photo ops, for a distraction, maybe, possibly. I don't know. What I do know is that you got to use your own discernment and you got to think with your own head. I can't give you all the answers. And, the only way that you can find the answers is if you go and you look for them all. But what I can tell you is that this is all for pictures. This is all a show. 100% a show. Not for Tim Walz in Minnesota because they're trying to pretend it's, hashtag gravy train. Yeah. Hashtag gravy train, baby. But what I'm trying to say is that over in Minnesota, the fraud is so bad. It's like when Napoleon calls in the news to look at the grain storage bins and there's like a little grain on top of a huge mound of sand. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's what Minnesota is. It's the best place to retire to. What is in Minnesota? What is in Minnesota besides being close to Canada? Yay. I just, it blows, these people blow my mind away. It's like when people are like, oh yeah, Massachusetts. I heard Governor Maura Healey, she's like, yeah, Massachusetts, Yeah, really, tell me all about it. Tell me all about Massachusetts. You have 8 taxes, including a death tax. You have 8 taxes, including a death tax. Let's be real here. It's all a photo op when they go out and they do these things. And listen, my governor in Trump does this shit all the time, photo op shit. It's to control the narrative. It's to make sure that people are still locked into the movement. You see? But you got to use your discernment, because then shit like this might get pulled over your eyes.
I'm not here for y'all. There's 2 ways you gonna play this game, man.
I'm not here for y'all.
With the president, I think it was productive.
His brother was a nurse.
You know why they don't want ICE around? Because it stirs up trouble. It's like anybody else. If you're running an illegal operation, you don't want any kind of shit going on around. You want quiet. You want everything to be quiet and hush hush. You don't want outsiders. You don't want nobody. You want everything to be just quiet. If you don't like it, leave. That kind of attitude, right? Look at Dearborn, Michigan. Look at New Lake, New Lake, New Jersey. New Lake, New Jersey. It's all Hasidic Jews. 100%, the whole town, quiet, hush, hush. And as soon as they started bringing it up on the internet, it got shut down immediately. The whole thing in Dearborn, Michigan. Look at all that stuff. Where the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan, on a public record, said that he wanted to throw a parade the day that a Christian historian left the town because he was complaining about there's too many Muslims. And then he gets called a racist. He gets called this. He gets called that. And here we are. The next photo op. Until the hammer comes down. Till the long dick of the law comes plunging right into the old furry starfish. If you know what I mean.
Now they're willing to kill our nurses, so when you go back to Capitol Hill... Look, I'm going to send Tom Holman in. We'll do things differently. If they bring their asses here, with us...
So I'm going to say this right now. And this is the thing. The reason he said, I'm going to bring Tom Holman in is because he realized that Kristi Noem's an idiot. And he's like, shit, I can't believe that I had her first. But I'm glad that right now we got Mark Wayne Mullen. Yeah, baby. All right, let's go.
It's going to get worse.
I think he understood this. I told him that this is unsustainable.
ABC News with a slightly different question, 56%. So what you're seeing essentially here is a very clear indication that a majority of Americans, in fact, when they're asked this one question, which I believe gets at the underlying feelings, do in fact want to deport all immigrants who are here illegally.
I mean, what's going on, Timbo? Can you explain that? People are fleeing your state. Why? People are fleeing blue states. Why? Why is that happening? Your policies suck. Here in New Hampshire, our policies are, they're all right. They're not the best. We need to work on them, but we try actively. We really do. New Hampshire is a blue state, which I hate so much. Actually, we're purple now, but I think that it doesn't really matter the color. I don't think that Republican or Democrat really matters. I think what matters the most is American. I think that should matter the most. But, we're forced to pick a side. That's why I pick independent. But there's no way I would live in this kind of state. We have people that watch the show. They're from, the Midwest and everything like that. Purple Barney weirdo. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, dude, that guy that actually played Barney, I'm sorry to digress here, but that guy that played Barney, they actually said he was actually a real weirdo. So anyways, but people are starting to wake up to what's happening right now. They're going outside and they're not seeing the land that they love. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. I always want to know what you're thinking, even if you are a purple Barney weirdo. Thanks for being here with me. This is the OTPH Show, Rod Steele and Sex Appeal.
Fuck Tim Walz! Fuck Tim Walz! And people that ride bikes in the road. Fuck.
Yes. Fuck those people. Seriously. Let me know what you think about that. I just fuck those people. They take up the road. They think they own the road. They think they're pedestrians. You're not, by the way, by law, when you're riding a two-wheeled, even if it's mechanical, like a bicycle, it's got wheels. It's considered a bicycle, or it's considered a vehicle. So, especially here in the state of New Hampshire, and they still suck. They still suck. They think they run the fucking road. And then they put in these bike lanes. Have you ever seen those hideous monstrosities when you come in, especially in Vermont? Oh, my God. Don't even get me started with bikers. They're disgusting creatures.
You guys, too. I'm protesting that now. Get out of the fucking road. You don't own the road. You don't own the road. Get out of the fucking road.
You don't own the road. You stop it. You don't. Be respectful. You know you can't go as fast as a car. Now get the fuck out of the way. Seriously. I got to get to work, or we got something to do, buddy. If your hobby is riding a bicycle, you probably got a lot of money. I might say that. You probably don't do a lot of adventurous stuff. All right, let's go.
I love you guys. Thanks for being good sports about it. Get the fuck out of the road. This car's trying to drive. Shit. And pick up the pace, old man. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Get on the road. You're slowing traffic down.
Bro,
You're really impeding traffic.
this guy needs to start a GoFundMe. Seriously. This guy needs to start a GoFundMe. He probably already got banned off because he's out here harassing individuals. This is awesome.
Traffic. The cops should be pulling people like you guys over, but they pull me over because they got a bullhorn. Come on. Hello. You pussy. Roll up your window all quick and shit with your gay ass Tacoma. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I could do this all day.
Me too, baby.
Oh, Peggy, I could be out here all day for you, okay? Be out here wait.
And you should be upset with your leadership. And let me listen. I'm not going to go up to my leadership and call them horrible names. You see what I'm saying? I might call them an idiot, but I'm not going to sit there and, call them horrible things or a retard or a fag or gay or whatever. But, I'm not afraid to let them know, and you should. You should get out there and be like, listen, I don't approve of what's happening right now. Let them know and let other people know too as well. Take your government into your own hands. Our system was designed for we the people, even been occupied by those boys, if you know what I mean. They're part of a group that's out in the middle of a desert somewhere. I'm just saying, I've never been there. You've probably never been there, but we gotta love them, right?
The peg, old Peggy, she might be getting pegged in the back by the sheriff or the milkman, because Tim can't get it up. Tim can't get it up anymore. Tim cut off his boner when he went to the Democratic Party, That's what happened. You stupid bastards, get off the road! Get off the road! Get off the road! Go
What the
find a new
fuck,
hobby.
man?
This one sucks. You in-shape motherfuckers, you beta males, you Democrat, you liberals. I bet you got tight pants on too. Yep, he's got tight pants on. He's got tight pants on. And he's got tight pants on.
I don't want to sit here and say that, if you ride a bike, you're liberal, but if you ride a bike, you might be a liberal. I'm just saying, if you ride a bike in the middle of the road and think people need to go your speed, you might be a liberal. On to the next one.
Minneapolis has a message for you. Take a listen.
Hey, JD Vance, I saw you're in town, but you never said hello. You got a couple things wrong. You called Minneapolis a city in decline. Here's the thing. We were rated as the happiest city in the entire country.
That's a lie. What's going on, bud? Dude, don't do that. Sorry, I swallowed my spit. Don't do that. Sorry, I swallowed my spit. Wrong tube. Don't do that, Red. You don't do that. You're out of control, bro. You're out of control. You're out of line right now. Yeah, well, you live in the backwoods of Washington. What is there in Washington? Wisconsin? Washington. What's out? What's funny is I can see you doing it. You know what I'm saying? And like one of those ape hanger fucking beach cruisers that are fucking, the ape hangers are made out of chain. You know what I mean? And you got that bright white, like ivory seat, the big old tag, like the big old tongue in the back, right? With the flag and the fucking baseball card and a bike smoke, dude. I see it, bro. I can see it. I love it. I'm a fucking rebel without a cause. Oh man, you fucking sorry. Sorry, I'm fucking dying right now. Jeez, I'm crow. The video is absolutely incredible. This guy's talking shit about JD Vance and my boy Red. Hold on one second. My brother's calling me. Oh, maybe not. Anyways, I was going to pull him up on the phone and be like, what's up, dude? You want to come on the show? Anyways, you know, listen, Minneapolis is a city in decline, especially with the amount of fraud that's going on there. And you knew about it, but you learned Swahili, the Somali language, just so you could talk to them and pander to their vote like they're going to be able to stick around. They're not. They're going to go bye-bye. You're going to see real soon. You're going to see real soon Muslims are going to go. Simply because the Jews control our country right now, which is not a, great thing. But hey, listen, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. All right.
Rated as having the best park system in the entire country. Great place for recent college grads. Downtown's coming back. Guess what else? The last several years, crime's been dropping.
Oh, but what he forgot to tell JD Vance is what he allegedly did and gave Renee Good. Take a look at this.
Evidence has emerged of a $15,000 Venmo payment from Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey to notorious ICE agitator Renee Good.
Renee Good, the girl that got pippy popped in her face that I showed last weekend. She got 3 in the face. It's at her own responsibility to her own life. When you disobey law enforcement and then try to run them over, that's what happens. I mean, I showed a video where a dude in a Toyota Corolla took 8 to the body and he still drove off. So, I mean, and he's taking payments or giving payments. Wait, let's rewind a little bit here. Let's go back just a tiny bit. Here we go.
Renee Good. The transaction, labeled simply Melt Ice, coincides suspiciously with the chaos surrounding the killing of Good, who attacked ICE officials on January 7th. Renee Good, known for crisscrossing the country as a paid disruptor, had a history of impeding arrests and stirring up anti-ICE protests.
I don't know, Jacob Fry. I mean, when you talk about love is going to save everybody, I don't know. You and Tim Walz are good runners, though. You got good form. Maybe you guys could run out in the courtyard wearing all orange. Yeah, let's see if that works.
Hey, I'm going to run. I'm a runner. I'm a track star. Good for you. I mean, this is another reason why I don't have any respect for this, because I don't have any respect for the law. And the reason I don't have any respect for the law right now is because they've been running their state like a mafioso.
We will not cooperate with ICE or any federal agency.
See that? We will not cooperate with any ICE or any federal agency. So you mean to tell me what? Listen, the federal authority had absolute authority in this country. States have their own rights to run their states how they want, but when push comes to shove, the federal government has absolute authority. And that, I'm not saying this because I'm I love the federal government. I love Trump, and I love what's happening to our country. We're trying to bring it back, and the growing pains that are happening right now are happening. I get it, right? But let's think about this. When you openly defy what defines our country, the laws, we're known for we're the land of laws. That's what we're known for. That's how we dictate what happens in our country. We're supposed to have conversation and debate. And the best ideas is what dictates and happens in our country. That's what we're supposed to do. We pick the best of the best to represent us. That's what we're supposed to do. And this guy's like, I'm not going to cooperate because I'm some kind of badass. Yeah, I'm the mayor. Did you watch him choke down the Somali food, the Somali restaurant that made no money because they were just embezzling federal funds, saying that they were feeding no one? Because no one was going there. It's a hole in the wall with a name. It's a shell company just collecting a check. Your money. Just want you to know that.
What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust.
These Border Patrol officers.
Of course, I bear responsibility to bring down the temperature.
To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis.
That's a great way of bringing down the temperature, by the way. Fantastic way.
Sure, that's part of my role as mayor. And by the way, protests here in Minneapolis are peaceful.
The desire to get out and protest and to speak up to this administration of how wrong this is, that is a patriotic duty. That is a patriotic duty.
We have
Heard it from the horse's mouth, man.
Perhaps tens of thousands of people peacefully protesting. Yeah, they are going to stand up for their neighbors.
What's up? Oh.
The human desire to lash out in this moment is very real. And from here on, I have a very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government.
It's just crazy. Stop it. With all of your noise and all of your nonsense. You do. You openly admitted it. You didn't want it to happen anymore. You don't want to be embarrassed as much as you have been, bud. I have a feeling you're going to end up in a certain Bay Area. And I'm not talking about, California. So anyways, but we're getting, and with all this talk of all the corruption that's been happening in the Midwest and all the corruption that's been happening pretty much everywhere in our country, we all pretty much knew about it because the conspiracy theorists were right. And I am a firm believer behind all of that. I'm a firm believer in all of that. And it's time that we shine the light on a lot of those things that are happening. And guys, it's time for my favorite part of the show. It's time for the handy news.
Mom Donnie did not win.
I'm here in New York about to illegally vote for Zoran Mamdani 6 times. Yeah. 6. I am Muslim.
No one cares. I don't know why is that such a thing? What, like I'm a Christian. Well, I am. I mean, I disclose that to you so you guys understand my values and where I'm coming from. And if you don't like those values and where I'm coming from, then you don't have to watch my show. But what I'm saying to you is like, why is that the lead thing? Like vegans are like that. Liberals are like that too. And they have to tell you like the list of things that they are before they can have conversation with you. You know what I mean?
I am a democratic socialist.
No shit. How you got voted in?
Most damning of all.
Oh, did you hear about Hochul, the governor of New York, and how she's begging everybody to come back to New York when she told them all? She's like, if you don't like what's happening here in New York, you can get the fuck out of here, right? That's what she said. You can get on the bus and you can go down to Florida. And now look at this. Now, he's promising all these things for what? That kid voted 6 times illegally, or he's rage baiting, one of the two. But let's stop and think here for a second. There's been a lot of election fraud been going on. We're going to talk about it here in a second. Let's finish this video.
Oh, I refuse to apologize for any of this.
Because you're a fucking piece of shit that hates America.
And yet,
he's an actor, by the way.
Teaches us anything. It is that convention
Jeffrey
has
Epstein's
held
his
us
dad,
back.
allegedly.
We have bowed at the altar of caution, and we have paid a mighty price.
Look at him actually gloating here. He knows that he did not legitimately win. And we are in big trouble as a country if we let stuff like this slide. We need to investigate whatever that guy was talking about, voting for him 5
Agreed.
times. We cannot let this stand. Make sure to let me know what you think about this in the comment section below.
Get out of here, kid. Yes, absolutely. I agree. And 100%, because that's what's happening right now. Current election fraud investigations in the U.S. 2025, 2026. We're going to be starting right off with Georgia, Fulton County. FBI raid in 2026 of January. FBI raids Fulton County election office on January 28th of 2026. According to reporting, the raid was triggered by claims from election deniers that were already debunked, plus a referral from the White House lawyers involved in attempts to overturn the 2020 election, which I don't care about that at all because it already happened. So whatever. I don't care about the 2020 election. It's just a proof. I understand why he's doing all this. I understand why Trump's going after this, but let's keep going. The affidavit shows the FBI acted on these claims despite their lack of credible evidence, which is not true. And we're going to get to it at the end of this segment. The key point is that this is not an investigation. It's widespread fraud in an investigation that sparked on false fraud allegations, which is not true at all. They are absolutely decimating Fulton County. They absolutely 100% right now. They are in absolute shambles. So that report is a load of shit. I watch it every day. They are running absolute God mode on these elections. And listen, it happened in Connecticut. There was an election. It was just a local election to where the judge was looking at it and said, you have to have a re-election. That's how much fraud was involved with it. We're talking just a little pissant county in New England of Connecticut. One of the tiniest states in all of the country. They have to throw out an election? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. It's absolutely insane.
I gotta go to the post office right now and drop it off, okay?
Do you go to like any particular post office? Like
I go throughout the entire city. If I have a bunch of them, what I'll do is if I have a bunch of them, I'll take 20 here, 30 here, 40 here.
Mix it up, not the same post office.
So this was a honeypot investigation that was done with James O'Keefe.
Of course not.
Yeah.
What I do in picking up the balance when he was with me, that's illegal. I could go to jail. So I'm a little apprehensive to tell somebody, what I'm fucking doing, you know what I'm saying? And
I mean, it's plain as day, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have to paint it in red, white, and blue. I am painting it in red, white, and blue just so you know what to do. Watch out for this kind of shit. These people are not out for the best interest, or they're in a precarious situation. Either way, they know they're doing wrong. Why do you think she's like, I don't know if I should be telling you? Well, if you don't know, then
again, once he works with me once, he's gonna say she's.
I guess Trump was right. I'm sorry.
How about doing shit illegal?
I'm sorry.
How about doing?
You are, yeah. You're about doing stuff illegal? Yes. Duh. You fucking brainiac. What? How? This is the problem with DEI. Democrats employing idiots. This is what happens when you put the wrong person in the position. This lady was ballot harvesting, and this is a fraudulent election. And she keeps saying, what am I doing? Is that stuff illegal? Yeah, duh. It's federally illegal, and you're going to federal prison, not just state prison.
Something you know?
Yeah. They all said he was full of shit.
Oh, hell
That's
no,
crazy.
he's not. It's true. Because you're not supposed to do that.
No shit. Who would have thought? It's fucking crazy.
To allow representatives and poll what?
I'm going to send it to Bill.
Look at that. They're filling out those ballots. Look. They are this woman right here is filling out the ballot.
This
Look
lady
at that shit.
is marking the ballots.
Yep.
I filmed her a half hour ago doing 6, and she's still working at it.
This is crazy.
Let's stamp it, received.
There it is. Yep.
And let's fill in our 6 blanks. All at the top of the tickets on each one.
That's crazy.
2.
I remember a certain individual, they went to go and vote, and because they were missing something, even though you only had to have your ID, the person that was in charge of the election process and the registration process was like, oh, well, looks like we can't help you. That's a load of shit. That's 100% a load of shit. If you have your ID on you, then you can 100% vote. You have to have a valid ID. Thank God for the SAVE Act. But New Hampshire's always done that. Like if you go to vote, you have to have your ID with you. You do. So in New Hampshire, I don't know what it is in other states. Let me know in the comments down below. But in New Hampshire, when you go and vote, you have to show your ID.
3. 4. 5. 6. And there's a security guard right there.
That's crazy.
Who's watching her.
Yep.
The cops are in on it. Disgusting.
That's fucking wild. Could you imagine, like, if I saw that, I'd be like, lady, you are arrested. Like, he looked right at the woman marking the ballots and then stamping it. California, Riverside County Sheriff, or Riverside County Sheriffs versus the state AG in 2022 and 2026. Riverside County, Chad Byronco has been running along with a long-running probe. What a pain in my fucking ass. Into the alleged fraud ties in 2025 special elections. California Attorney General Bob Bonta has accused Boric of politicizing the investigation and trying to interfere with state oversight. Bonta claims that the AG has tried to stop and delay his investigation, which, why would you do that? The Attorney General is supposed to be on the same team. This is law enforcement should be working together. Do you see what I'm saying? They shouldn't be this way. They should be this way. They should be working together. So why is the AG fighting against all this? I have no fucking idea. If you do, leave a comment down below. But, I mean, and a warrant for election materials has been issued in February 9th, 2026. The key point is that the state politics are fighting, not evidence of systematic fraud, which, I mean, there's 2. Georgia, we just talked about Georgia County, which you can go and look it up. It's right there. Okay. Georgia County, Fulton County, okay, in Georgia. that we just talked about, Riverside County. Okay. That's the AG is involved with is interfering with the fucking investigation, which is absolutely incredible to me. Well, I mean, Pam Bondi didn't do a great job of getting out of the way when it came to the investigation of Epstein, but we're not going to go there right now. We're talking about election fraud here on the Handy News. And I mean, people are running up to the ballot boxes and stuffing them. Look at
delivering a stack of ballots, and the person behind her rolls down the window and hands her a ballot to put in the ballot box with her stack. And then she goes back to her car with
lady
the stack
is
of
taking the
ballots
ballot.
again. And I think at that point she realized that the ballots were not signed, and so you're going to watch her sign each ballot in the vehicle. And she signs them and then puts them on the dashboard individually. First, she searches for a pen.
This is wild.
Second, but we've got the speed.
That lady. Let's go back here. That lady. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. I'm going to big screen this for you so you can see it better. So she went up to the ballot box. I'm going to turn off the volume. Let's watch this. She went up to the ballot box, stuff it in there, realized, wait, hold on. None of them were signed. Went back to her car. Who was filming this? This is absolutely incredible. This is another level of stupidity. Like, they are fucking selling Audacity online at discount, dude. Prices for real. Like, this is absolutely insanity. Not only is this lady built like an iPhone, shit, she's built like a cell battery. Look at this creature. This is fucking nuts. That's fucking nuts, dude. It's just crazy.
More security.
Yeah, there was 30 guards out back there.
It was ridiculous. It was all staged.
You think it was DC, the mayor influenced?
I think she was just a puppet.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of high.
How does that?
Hell, Mitch McConnell was part of it.
I was going to say.
He was the one that was part of the decision making. How much?
Oh, sorry. Let me read this for you. Hidden camera shows former Michigan Senator Majority Leader Mike Shirky reveals the truth about January 6th.
I think they wanted to have a mess.
I know they wanted to. There's no other explanation. The moment, like.
But they wouldn't have had a mess with you guys. They had to have also recruited this other group of people. And then I do believe, because I don't know if you guys have been caught up in it or not. When you're in mobs, you can get caught up in emotion.
Oh yeah, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Especially when you're getting tear gas and
so some of those Trump folks probably just got caught up in the emotion of it.
Well, they had a guy with a loudspeaker up on that tower. There was a tower in the middle of everything in the back. And there was a dude on a loudspeaker egging everybody on, telling everybody what to do. Like, reinforce this side, reinforce that side. Like, they're going through over here. Like, it was definitely something to behold.
I'm sure it was.
That's where, see that? That guy caught on to what was happening.
Fantastic to watch. Not a good fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
unbelievable.
Real interesting. Yeah.
He caught on to it.
It was a surreal moment.
Yeah.
So.
I said, couch, tears coming down my eyes. I couldn't believe what I saw.
Because I didn't see someone get
Look at his face.
I didn't see
that guy's looking right at the camera.
I didn't see anybody a cop punch a person.
I want somebody to tell me why that guy shot that woman.
Exactly. I want an answer.
What did she do to get shot?
She was breaking through a window, but I'm.
Well, that was Ashley Babbitt, the girl that got shot in the face during January 6th. But they're investigating to try to turn over the election of 2020 so Trump can be right. Okay. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows, especially with the whole Steele dossier with Obama and everything like that. Like, Why do we have to keep pressing for this? Should we investigate for fraud? This is all alleged right now. This is all under investigation. All the stuff that we're talking about. But should we be investigating for this fraud? Yeah, 100%. But I remember talking about on my show in like 1949, where a group of individuals from Tennessee during an election blew open the side of a sheriff's building with dynamite to make sure that there was a clean election, because a Democrat in the town that happened in was completely corrupt and had the sheriffs under his belt. So, I mean, we got to think about this real hard here, and we should be investigating it. And if there is any type of this officer, this sheriff, investigating, you're impeding an investigation as an attorney general. It just blows my fucking mind. Can't believe it. National Reserve or National Review of Fraud claims that from GovFacts report in January 2026, a comprehensive review of 33 major fraud allegations. Every court rejected claims. Every court rejected the claim. Georgia's multiple recounts and audits confirmed the results. Conspiracy theories, e.g., the Italian satellite hacking. I'd never heard of that. I'll have to look into that. Where they investigated and were investigated and dismissed, which I haven't heard of. The Italian satellite hacking. It sounds pretty fucking stupid. Anyways, legal standards and for turning an election were not met in any case. The key point here is that courts and audits have repeatedly found no evidence of fraud, which is not true. And I don't know who wrote this fucking report, but it's not true. They are finding it. That's why they're investigating it. So let's get on to the next video. Next two videos, and then here we go. Yeah, thanks for being here with me. This is the OTPH Show, Raw Steel and Sex Appeal. And if you're new here, please like, share, and subscribe to the greatest show on the internet, the OTPH Show. Thank you for being here. Let's go. Where are we at here? Oh, I jumped ahead. Heritage Foundation fraud map updated in December of 2025. Tracked proven individual cases of election fraud across the U.S. Shows 138 cases nationwide, mostly small-scaled incidences like, individual voter fraud, registration fraud, things like that. So, I mean, is it systematic? Yeah, I think it is. I think that's really what shapes the election overall, is little things like this. Like, think of all the small cases of money fraud or bank fraud. You see what I'm saying? Eventually it stacks up and it adds up, and it has added up over a course of time. And I'm glad that we're investigating it. I mean, it's a real thing. It's a shit show out there right now when it comes to election investigations. I mean, the one in Connecticut is the one that's most incredible. It was so corrupt to where a judge has to go, guys, seriously, we cannot have this happen. I'm going to have to hold you both in fucking contempt because you're both idiots. It's crazy. It's crazy. But let this guy break it down for you.
Remind everyone what happened yesterday as it relates to the actual fact pattern of law. And a warrant was issued by a magistrate judge based on probable cause after evidence was submitted. Not a Trump-appointed judge, a magistrate judge. That is the way that the law enforcement process works in America. But we have heard repeatedly that everything was perfect with 2020. In fact, I think we probably at this point could trademark the most secure election in American history. What qualifications we use to measure that, I have no idea. But let's go back to what actually happened in 2020 if we're going to have the conversation. Drop boxes invented out of thin air. Nowhere in Georgia law.
No. Drop boxes weren't invented out of thin air because look at that lady that got caught ballot stuffing for Jimmy Carter. Okay. I'm just saying. All right. You can go. It's all over the internet. Go look it up for yourself. This is absolutely incredible. And he is 100% on point. A magistrate judge. You know what they do, right? Well, he's going to explain it. I'll let him do it.
Mobile voting units moving through Fulton County to 80% Democrat precincts, 81% Democrat precincts.
How the absolute absurdity of that. Like, we've only changed our voting laws, I think, like a couple times. One was during the Civil War, where they had field electors. Well, I guess it kind of sounds like this, but this was during a fucking war. It's crazy.
To be precise, nowhere envisioned in Georgia law. 6.8 million absentee ballot request forms with a first-class stamp sent to every registered voter in the state of Georgia. Nowhere envisioned in Georgia law. If you count the same ballots 3 times, in theory, you should get numbers that match. But that didn't happen either. Let's talk about the recount that happened. 3,930 double scan ballots.
We just watched a lady who was filling out ballots by hand. What's to say that they're not being double scanned, triple scanned? We already know that they use dead people.
In Fulton County alone.
Allegedly.
Thousands of those have been confirmed by the state election board. Governor Kemp actually raised the concerns of the Moncla-Rossi report, and we now know that there were double scanned ballots. But even after the ballots were double scanned in Fulton County, did the numbers match on the second recount?
No.
Nope. They were still off by 850 ballots.
That's crazy.
Not one person here.
How do you have one fucking job? You have one job. Obviously, it's to cheat because you're in on it. We talk about fraud here all the fucking time. We're talking about fraud before fraud became a fucking thing to talk about. We're talking about Massachusetts fucking EBT fraud before EBT fraud was a fucking thing to talk about. The information is suppressed, ladies and gentlemen. The best way to get it out is to share this kind of stuff with people. Share this with them and let them know, like, this is a real thing. How do you miss? They're off by 800 ballots. First it was 3,000. Now it's 800. Wait, we got to count them again to make sure we have our numbers right. We have money. We have machines that count money. We can't count ballots. You just need one. Person comes in, it scans the numbers. We have machines that scan testing. Like the little fucking, you fill out the little blob there, fill in the circle, blah, blah, blah. They have scanners to do that shit. You mean to tell me? Standardized testing. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to get out. Just stick around because it gets better. But nevertheless, what the fuck are we doing? Now, I can only imagine what it is here in New Hampshire. I could only imagine what it is here in New Hampshire. And I think that it's time for a mass audit of everybody's elections, every single person's election, not because I want to overturn the election of 2020. No. Yeah. Oh, wow. MAGA. Oh, yeah. MAGA. He wants to support the overturning of the election of 2020. It already fucking happened. I don't care. It already buried our fucking country for 4 years. We were already a sinking ship with Obama. Thank God we had the lifeboat of Trump to come in and stir the fucking pot. But I think that everybody should be investigated, simply just to expose the fraud. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about that. I always want to know what you're thinking about that. And as always, let's get back to the video.
Can answer the question of how that happened. And that is a legitimate question. We know that ballot images were deleted. We know that test ballots were included in the recount process, and we have that confirmed. But I want to take just a minute and talk about what the Democrats did in response to legitimate questions over the 2020 election. A former constituent of mine, Derek Somerville, former FBI agent, ran data analysis along with another gentleman named Mark Davis. And remember the 6.8 million absentee ballot request forms that were sent out? They had a first-class stamp. So that means if you filed the national change of address form, that was automatically forwarded to your new address. And they identified reasonable cause to question the validity of 39,141 of those ballots that were cast. They knew that 160 people had been registered to vote.
Sound
from a
like
single
me when
UPS
I'm reading
store.
up a fucking script, buddy.
2,138 people had been registered to vote from one church in Fulton County. 1,391 had been registered to vote from a shuttered.
What the fuck?
1,000 square foot building in Fulton County. Unless you think Fulton County has cleaned up their voter rolls, today, thousands of people are registered to vote in Fulton County at UPS stores, storage units, pack mails, homeless shelters that haven't been open for over 5 years. The Fulton County voter rolls.
It really wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't. Look at what's going on with all the shell corporations. Look at what Hunter Biden did with his.
Have been and continue to be a mess. But when Derek Somerville and Mark Davis followed the law and filed objections to those voters, what did the Democrats do? Well, Stacey Abrams sued them in federal court. And they won.
Yep.
Not Stacey Abrams, but Somerville and Davis won. Judge Jones, not a Republican judge, ruled in their favor. What have we learned since then about those 39,000 voters? 12,000 of them have been removed from the voter rolls because Somerville and Davis were correct that they were no longer eligible to vote. 9,500 have updated their address to a new address outside of Fulton County, proving once again that Somerville and Davis were correct and those people were ineligible to vote. Ultimately, 84%.
So if you want legitimacy in your voting count, right, then why would you resist cleaning up your voter rolls when actually by law, by constitutional law, you have to make sure that your voting rolls and your polls are up to snuff. You have to. How these fucking people are getting away with it, I'll tell you how, because there hasn't been anybody paying attention. Everybody was in on crashing the greatest fucking country in the entire world, the United States of America. The very people that we talk about constantly here on the show. And even the rhinos, don't worry. I point them both out. Point out all the scumbags that are trying to butcher this country and our way of life. And what are we going to be left with, ladies and gentlemen? That's why you have to get involved. That's why you have to be here. You can't be like, well, I don't care. No, you have to care. You just have to fucking care. It's gonna bother you. And if you have kids, well, guess what? It's gonna be a problem for your fucking kids. If you don't have kids, well, I'm sorry that you don't have kids. You should have kids because they're absolutely fantastic. And if you're mature enough to understand that you're not responsible enough to have children, then good on you. And I respect the fuck out of your decision for not having children. But when it comes to cleaning up the voter rolls, then that's exactly what you should be doing. It should be a mass audit every year. When I worked in booking, every year we had to have an audit, and where we had to go through and make sure everything matched. Everything was up to snuff. We didn't have any dead files. We didn't have anything that wasn't supposed to be in there. We had to make sure everything that we had matched what was in our computers and in our filing. Everything had to match. I think that should happen. There's a guy right now that's going out, walking around to law enforcement facilities asking to audit their public records. By law, there's nothing that they can say or do about it. It's a public record. So for when you go up and you say, hey, this is a FOIA request, whatever, I want to audit your public records, that by law, they have to give it to you. You don't have to be a lawyer. It's public record. Just have to fill out the form. It might cost you some money. It might cost you a headache. These cops want to come out and be like, oh, well, we're not doing anything wrong. What are you talking about? You want to audit? Why would you be resisting the audit if you're trying to say that you're doing things the right way? It just doesn't make any sense, but this is the liberal mindset that they have. And of course, Stacey Abrams, the Green Queen herself, okay, and go and read about what she did with the whole fucking turn everything green and the whole, oh my gosh, the ice caps are melting and blah and all that fucking whatever. Anyways, what I'm saying is that she's an idiot. She's such an idiot that she lost to the state. And that's why her state is being investigated. And that's why California is being investigated right now. And that's why it shows over 138 cases nationwide, mostly small, but voter fraud is voter fraud. I don't give a fuck if it's for the president. I don't care if it's for your selectman. I don't care if it's for your sheriff. I don't give a fuck. Voter fraud is voter fraud, which could ultimately change the outcome of how things are run in the town or what people are expecting ultimately in their town, county, or state, or nationwide. That's why it's so important to pay attention to these things. This should be something that's very sacred to you. This is all over with, by the way. You should want to go out and participate actively in our country, and to make sure that it comes out okay. It comes out what you want it to be. I mean, is this the way that you want to live your life? To not be involved and just speculate? Or do you actually want to be involved and be like, you know what, I voted, and if I don't win, that's okay. I still am going to push my ideas, and I'm still going to do my thing, and I'm still going to talk about what I want to talk about. And, hopefully people will start catching on, and, we'll get them next year. We'll get them next voting season. You see what I'm saying? We'll get them next voting day. Because it should be one day, by the way. Did you know in Mississippi, up to 5 days, as long as the fucking ballot, the mail-in ballot is postmarked for the day of the election? What? No. And the Supreme Court just voted on that. That's right. They said, you can't do that. Election day is election day. That's it. You have to have it. This is it. That's the day. You got to have it on one day. One day, at the end of the day, everybody knows who got elected. So we have something to talk about in the fucking morning. Okay? Because goddamn, sometimes the news is boring. Especially when we're talking about bombing Iran. Like, I give a fuck. Anyways, election fraud's bad. They should not be resisting this at all in any way, shape, or form. People should be auditing it, and you should be involved with your system, wherever you live, okay? Doesn't matter if you're opposition or not, or if you feel like you're not going to win. Well, that's the wrong idea. Our forefathers and the people that fought for our countries had that same idea when they were being fucking bombarded by the British, the largest army in the entire world at the known time. We should 100% want to investigate these things to make sure that these people are getting their opportunity to have fair and free elections. This is absolutely incredible. But anyways, that's what I got for you on the handy news. Thanks, guys. When disaster hits, you don't want excuses. You want action and peace of mind. And emergency storable food from My Patriot Supply does just that, delivering over 2,000 calories a day in 8 hearty varieties, good for over 25 years. That's 25 years of protection for when the stinky stuff hits the fan. So scan the QR code up in the corner or click the link down in the description and protect you and your family for when emergency strikes. All orders before 3 p.m. ships same day, and anything over $150 ships for free. Remember, calories equal energy, and energy equals survival. Be ready for anything before anything happens with My Patriot Supply. Now back to the show.
But I just think we ought to acknowledge something. This is a properly functioning government today. The President of the United States, the head of the executive branch, made a policy decision.
Scott
Jennings. The Supreme
Court. The man, the myth, the legend himself, going into the fucking lion's den with a slingshot and a spear. Look, this guy is an absolute warrior.
Renders legal opinions about these kinds of decisions, made a decision. They said you can't do that. The President of the United States said, okay, I agree, and I will acknowledge your decision. I am going to use a different statute.
Yeah, that's when they said that he can't use the tariffs to, and then they came right out and they're like, okay, that's fine. Scott Bassett, listen, ladies and gentlemen, Scott Bassett is a fucking economic genius. The guy is a fucking literal economic genius. Okay. He is not dumb. He is very, very up to snuff on what he can do. Enjoy the glorious time of the golden age. I'm telling you, they're really fighting. I don't agree with all the stuff, okay? And you don't have to. That's okay. You voice your opinion. That's what you do here in our country. You have that right to do so. Don't be like stupid like the liberals and they have to tell you about everything. But what I'm saying to you is that you can go out and do the same thing, except for be more direct, like maybe send an email, to your representative or to the president himself, because you can do that. You can email him. You can. In social media, you can respond on social media about certain situations. You don't think they're not watching? They listen. Trump listens to everything that's going on. And what's funny is that I thought it was funny when they tried to kneecap the tariffs, because the tariffs were working. And then they try to say, oh, well, you're going to have to pay more for stupid shit like your phones. Well, then why is iPhone building a factory right here in America so they can produce iPhones here in America for a cheaper rate and cost for the American people? That's happening. Why did it get past that if you buy an American-made vehicle, well, guess what? You can write 100% of that off on your taxes. We're not swinging for the fences for the American people. Like, come on. The immigration thing needs to be tightened back up 100%. I don't think that we need to be attacking college kids that are like, get to America, we're from another country. Get out, Habib. Stop it. Okay. Don't need your bullshit. I think that you should warn these individuals and be like, understand your privy, because it is technically censorship. Do they have the right to come here and act a fool? No, they don't have the right to come here and act a fool at all. It is a privilege to come to this country. Why are we taxing? But I'm going to go back to what we were talking about before, because this is what Scott Jennings is talking about, is the tariffs. Why? What does it matter? We're going to find another way to make sure that we can levy tariffs to take the pressure of the taxes off the American people. Oh, and by the way, there are plenty of people out there that think taxes are voluntary. Voluntary, sorry. You have to be willing to pay them because they convince you in some way. No, I'm not saying don't pay your taxes. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is it's a little weird on how now we have double the taxes from mom and dad. The homes are broken up. Children have no respect. They can't even fucking read on most cases. We're not cultured. Our way of life is in absolute total disarray. Can you not see it? Trump implementing these tariffs, trying to alleviate pressure on you. Now, I just don't know how people can't see that. Oh, it's attack on your eye. You won't be able to get your fucking Xbox, bud, that you paid $1,000 for, and it only cost them $45 to fucking make with slave labor in Mongolia somewhere. Give me a break.
To try to do what I want to do. This is properly functioning government. And I'll tell you one more thing. For every Democrat and every media person that has gone on for the last year or two about how the Supreme Court is a wholly owned subsidiary of Donald Trump, that it's not independent, that it does whatever he says to do, obviously that narrative was...
You're fucking on... Dude, you're on point tonight, brother. You're on fucking point. Handy news is better than handy juice. You fucking... Buddy, you are fucking lit tonight, boy. You came up to fucking party, Red. Thanks for being here with me.
Obliterated today. So to me, I thought the ruling was sound. I think the president is sound to try other statutes. And I think the narratives about the court not being independent and the president not obeying the court were totally blown up today.
Well, I mean, I just don't understand why they can't take other revenues to try to help them. Why are the judges against the American people? That's not constitutional. To make people pay money to the American, to America, to sell their shit here? Listen, Shopify taxes you when you sell items and use their products, right? Like, come on. Like, look at all the middlemen that are out there for processing fees. Stop it. You're worried about tariffs? It's pretty much a fucking processing fee. Saying, hey, if you want to sell your goods, well, look, we're going to get a little bit off the top so we can grease the wheels around here. You dig what I'm saying? But no, that's unconstitutional. Good. Okay, fine. That's fine. That's fine. We found it. Hey, Scotty, come over here. Why don't you explain to this fucking bozo what we can do? And he did. He embarrassed them. Every liberal that was shaking their ass in the street was like, oh, the tariffs are gone. The tariffs are gone. I'm still a hobo. I've got no fucking life. Yeah. Scott Bassett comes out and he's like, yeah, we have other ways of implementing laws to allow us to use tariffs on other countries. Because he sounds like this. His eyes are squinted. I was like, yes. I am Scott Bassett. He's a great guy. Listen, I don't know him personally. I wish I could meet him. I think he'd probably be a really cool guy. You know what I'm saying? He punched Elon Musk in the face. He's got to be a badass dude. It can't. Yeah. Anyways, what I'm saying to you is that there's more than one way to skin a cat. I think that what's happening with Trump's cabinet right now is typical hiccup stuff. I think there are people in there that are trying to sabotage him, but the core individuals that he has, besides Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, are on point with what they're doing. Okay. He's listening. He's responding to the American people. His base is still super fucking strong. We're still kicking a lot of ass. We need to get the fuck out of Iran and and get rid of that little group that wants to tell everybody they're not allowed to say certain things about the people with the squad. With the little hats right here, we're not allowed to say mean things about them. Okay. We need to get rid of those people too. We need to have net zero immigration for a long fucking time. If you're here and you're legally here, you can stay. If you're not legally here, you're fucking gone and no one's coming in here. Dual citizenship, done. Okay. We're all done. Birthright citizenship should be negotiated. But other than that, you're fucking done. The birthright citizenship, if you're born here in America, if you are born here, but you are a legal citizen of this country. Not you came here on a fucking work visa and now you are, your kid's an American citizen. No. You're in the process of getting your green card and you haven't gotten your green card yet. No, you're not an American citizen, and neither is the fucking child that you're bearing. You have to be a legal citizen of this country, meaning your family is a legal citizen of this fucking country. You understand what I'm saying? All that stuff. Like, I was born here. My family was born here. Their family was born here. We come from Canada, the great land of Canada. Okay? Let's be real about this. Our population, you're going to wake up one day in a land of strangers. That's not a joke. I'm not trying to be, listen, I'm not a racist. I love legal immigration because my brother's wife is from the fucking Philippines. So I have no problem with legal immigration at all. None whatsoever. I have no problem with people that want to come here and assimilate to our country. None. I have no problems with that at all. And if you don't have a problem, go ahead. Yeah, dude, for real. You're not. Right. I'm going to do another one of those. I'm going to try to get my brother on here so we can talk about that subject a little bit more deep, because I like that last episode that I had about the untouchables, let's call them. I think that's what I'm going to call them when I refer to the untouchables. But yeah, I mean, when I did that episode, I really liked that episode a lot, but I think it's a little bit ridiculous, and we should be all on the same team, like Chuck Norris before he died, heaven rest his soul. He said when people asked him about how he felt about Democrats and Republicans and all this back and forth nonsense, he said, he's just ashamed of what's going on and we need to be Americans. Like, having your disagreements is one thing, but calling somebody a fucking Nazi is another. Like, using this absolute over-the-top egregious language just to get a reaction out of somebody is just, this isn't how we're supposed to be doing things. We're supposed to be brothers and sisters. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been in a fight with my brothers and sisters. Fist fights, yelling and screaming, throwing shit at each other. Like, come on. Like, what happened? I remember 9/11, our country was unified. Now we are so fucking divided. It's absolutely, it's incredible to me. It's incredible to me. And you know what else is incredible is that, this Scott Jennings goes in here and he faces this kind of nonsense day in and day out. And this is what you have to deal with, is this. Well, I'll let the video speak for itself. Let's go.
People in prison in El Salvador. I mean, these things they speak to the heart of America.
Look at his face.
What we see people are going through. It's not a political standpoint to me. We try to see the humanity in people, and it doesn't seem like people on the right side are capable of that. This is what people voted for. We saw.
This is exactly what it is. It's just a word salad after word salad after word salad. There's nothing. There's no substance to anything that she's saying at all. No validity at all.
We knew very well who Trump was during the first term, where he had the family separation policy, where he was putting children in cages. People voted.
Kids in cages. This is like all the oldest shit ever that's been debunked. It's crazy. Like, people die in holding facilities. When I worked at the correction facility that I had, we had individuals, pass away. It happens. A lot of the times it's because of their own doing. It has nothing to do with the health and care. Because listen, these people are bound by law because they can get sued. That's what they're afraid of the most. And that's not what they should be afraid of the most, actually, in my opinion. If you work with the public, you should care about that. You should care about the people that you're under supervision of, and make sure that, okay, you broke the law, but at the same time, like, I want to make sure that you go back to wherever you came from, not dead. I don't want you to die. I want you to learn your fucking lesson. So when you come back here, then, you learned your lesson. If not, well, then I think you should get the chair, in my opinion. Because if we let you in here twice and you come back and break laws and take advantage of our systems, then I just think that's extremely bad. I think it's extremely bad. Especially if we're giving you a free ride and $1,000. Get the fuck out of here.
For that again and again. I'm done pretending that there are people out there who will see this and be outraged by it. The polling numbers just show that's not true. People will say they don't like it, but they showed up to the voting booth and voted for him again and again. Of the nearly 70,000 people in ICE custody right now.
I'd be doing this. Like, I'd just be banging my head off the table like, oh my God, would you just shut the fuck up, please, woman? What are you saying right now? What are you talking about? You are just babbling a whole bunch of nothing. I have not heard anything that she said has been a coherent sentence in any way, shape, or form. It is literally a bunch of babbling. And the face that Scott Jennings, the legend himself, is making right now is absolutely incredible, because if you know, you fucking know. If you argue with these liberals, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Even if you're trying to be peaceful with them, this is how they act. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I believe 10% have criminal convictions. I mean, the data shows time and again that this is an unfair, inhumane policy. And so, no, Abby, I don't think this is going to make a difference.
Scott.
Respond to what?
What she just said.
Look, I'm not going to respond to ad hominem attacks on 70 million Americans who decided to vote Republican in the November 2024 election. I don't think it's right. You come out here, you call people liars, you call anybody who votes, you say they don't have a moral compass. I didn't say
anybody who votes Republican. I said the people who voted for Donald Trump.
Okay,
they
he's a Republican, and he won in November with Republicans who voted for him. So don't back away from
I'm not backing away. I don't think they have a moral compass.
That's how you feel, but
you don't ever have to worry about me backing away from that point.
I don't feel like I have to respond to these attacks. In fact, I think you ought to ask her if she really believes 70 million people lack a moral compass.
I believe people who saw what Trump did and voted for him lack a moral compass.
I mean, he just tore her up after she went on that fucking binge rant. He just tore her up with 70 million people lack a moral compass. I mean, listen, if you support abortion, I'm not, you know what I mean? You kind of lack a moral compass to me. Free abortion, free run, I just got dicked down by everybody in town, abortion, okay? Then I don't agree with that. Now, if it's gonna, save the life of the woman, then okay. If there's complications, in early on in the stages, then okay. I guess it's tough, but it's still murder. Okay. You're still taking a life. It's not a clump of cells. It's not a zygote. Okay. It's an actual living soul. It's a spark of life inside of the female's uterus that grows into something amazing and beautiful. So, and I can't really agree with a lot of what you say if you have such high disregard for life. If you think that it's okay for people to go and have abortions and just kill their children because they weren't being responsible enough for whatever reason, male or female, doesn't matter. Dudes, you need to bag it up. If you're going out there waxing them boards, you need to bag it up. It's as simple as that. That's a horrible thing. 1 in 5 pregnancies end in abortions. That's a lot. 1 in 5. And these people, you can't argue with them because they think it's okay that all 5 of those they could have been great. They would have been fine. Scott Jennings is a fucking legend. Absolute fucking legend. The guy, I mean, anybody that can go in and deal with this kind of shit on a regular, deserves a fucking Medal of Honor, in my opinion. But let's hear him break this shit down.
The Grammy Awards,
Oh,
singer
Grammys, yeah.
Billie Eilish,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
a famous person, had this to say.
No one is illegal on stolen land. No one, goddammit. I'm Billie Eilish. I had an OnlyFans at 14 years old because of Epstein, allegedly.
One.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
And then everybody started doxing her and shit like that and showing up to her property and stuff. And like, oh, you're on stolen land. The actual native tribe of the land where she lives at actually put it in a filing for her to sue her for her house because it was on stolen land. Isn't that funny? These people should not be running their fucking mouths. You live high on the hog and give nothing up. You live in a border. Most of these celebrities, they live behind walls. They want you to like them, but they won't even say hi to you when you say hi to them on Instagram or whatever. They don't say nothing to you. They don't care about you. They want your money. They want your attention. All that was right there is little Miss Billie Eilish, because Hollywood's dying, ladies and gentlemen. In case you've been living under a fucking rock, it is literally imploded. Just like the rest of the shithole named California. It's just crazy. And the reason I call it a shithole is not because California is not a beautiful state. I'm sure it is a very beautiful state. It's part of the greatest country in the world. But it's a shithole because they literally have to have a poop finder app for you to walk around in some parts of California. But that's for a later conversation. Ultimately, these people think that average individuals that are scraping by, give a fuck on what they have to say. We don't. That's why the support for this kind of shit is dying off, because the average individual is starving. Do you see? The average individual is starving. During the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, America was fucking dick made of concrete. Now we've got people like fucking Billie Eilish that are like, nobody's illegal on stolen land. Even though I make fucking millions of dollars every year for my shitty music. I hope you stub your toe, lady. All right, back to the video. Sorry.
And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I just...
I'll tell you what you should say and do. Get the fuck off the stage. Dude, listen, I'll tell you this, Red. The way I fart in the toilet in the morning when I'm taking my dump first thing sounds better than her music, okay? I'm talking the full foghorn. Sorry, dude. Let's go.
I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter. And the people.
But she's not willing to do it. I'm not going to go through this whole clip because it's like a fucking 5-minute clip, and I'm running out of time here. But this is just absolute insanity to me. Like, you have the audacity to talk about this, but you're not out there doing any of it. You live on a fucking compound. There was an Australian guy that flew all the way from Australia just to harass her about that. What her fucking state is hilarious.
People matter, and I say sorry.
Boo.
That sound
Scott Jennings, you're the man.
Was Billie Eilish making a profane statement against ICE, by the way. Starts with an F, ends with a U. Very classy way to talk about the police, Billie. What does she mean by stolen land? Radical communists like Billie Eilish, who profits handsomely, I might add, from American capitalism, believe that America was stolen from the Native Americans, meaning that we have no right to enforce laws.
Red, you're
today.
on fire tonight, buddy. You are fucking cooking,
By the way,
bro.
Billie Eilish lives in a $14 million mansion in Los
You
Angeles.
cook like this on the next show, bro. I'm
property that
throwing a
was once
link. I'm
inhabited
throwing a
by
link
the
in the description
Tongva
so you
tribe.
can in the chat
So
so
far
you
as
can
we
come
can
up here,
tell,
bro.
she hasn't taken
You
any
fucking
steps
killed
to
it.
return her mansion and
You're fucking
surrounding
star of the
property
show. This is my
to
show.
its
You
rightful
stole it
owners,
tonight,
but
man. You stole it.
We'll
Good
keep
job.
you posted. People like Billie
I love it.
Eilish
I love
are,
it. I
of
think
course,
it's great, man.
stupid.
You're on
But what
fire
she
tonight.
says has influence. And what she means is that she doesn't believe the United States actually exists as a legal entity, as a nation. Oh, and you know something else. When Billie Eilish was in Ireland recently, she actually said this to her audience, cut 7.
Well, as you guys know, I'm Irish, so it's cool to be here. I am not from here, obviously, but it's really cool to come somewhere and like everybody looks at.
Okay, you're fucking dumb. I can't do anymore. I just, oh my gosh. She's a part of the MK Ultra project that was sabotaged. Anyways, I just want to point out a couple things. One, she's fucking dumb. Yeah, fucking right, dude. You stop it. I know you're just kidding. I know. Okay. We fucking, Red, you and I, we go together like lamb and tuna fish, brother. Come on now. You already I love you, buddy. Thanks for being here with me. Anyways, so I mean her statements like I'm Irish. What does that even, I hate when people are like, yeah, I'm Puerto Rican, but I live in America. What the fuck? Okay, so are you American or are you Puerto Rican? Like, are you an American or are you Irish? I love when people are like, yeah, I'm, my blood is, my heritage is Puerto Rican, Irish, and French. It's like, wow, man, you must be fucked genetically. Look at you, you goddamn mutant. You look like a Spanish Wolverine. Anyways, the audacity of these individuals, and I totally dig Scott Jennings' take on it when she's sitting here and saying, fuck ICE and all these people. We just watched in the beginning of the show. If you didn't watch the beginning of the show, go back to the beginning of the show and watch the beginning of the show where we're talking about a Mayor Fry from Minneapolis. That's, fuck ICE. We don't want you. We don't need you. We're going to openly defy. This is what these people do. They're stirring up the pot. They're influencers. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing. Dude, you are, dude. Dude, I have been listening to you. You've been fucking crushing it tonight. Way better than I have. But I totally understand why people are done with listening to Hollywood. I can totally understand why people are done with listening to mainstream media. And that's why, the untouchables are freaking out right now because everybody's trying to find alternative ways to get real truth. Okay. I just tell you what I know. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just tell you what I find. I tell you what I think. And I talk to you about the history of it and what I know about the history. And if you have something that you want to say to me, then say it in the fucking comments and we'll talk about it. And I'll look it up. I can look it up live with you right here, right now. Sometimes I got to flow. Right now, I got to flow a little bit faster because I'm running out of time. We're getting close to 2 hours. I'm just so bad because you know why? Because I got off on a bad start with the beginning and I was running my mouth in the beginning way too much. But Billie Eilish, these celebrities that are out here saying that, undermining our Constitution and our way of life, and it's pretty much delegitimizing our way of life and saying that the Constitution, or not the Constitution, but the United States is not legitimate and that we stole this place. Let's not forget about the savages and the Native Americans that lived here first. They did it to each other. They enslaved each other. Now, how we did things, I don't agree with. Okay, I'm not saying that we were the greatest at it. All right, but we did it. So what the fuck am I going to do about it? Oh, so I should give them money? No, I should be like, all right, fine. Sorry, guys. That's it. Just be sorry and give them back. Let them be mad about it. Like, well, what the fuck can I do about it? What the fuck can anybody do but just let bygones be bygones and try to become better human beings for it? You know what I mean? Like, America it should be that way. Not like, oh, you should just get away with, but that happened way, way back in a long, long time ago. Just like the Holocaust happened a long, long, long time ago. Just like World War II happened a long time ago. We can do something now that we're alive. And now that we know this information, we should take action and speak up and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, especially if you have a thought that's congruent with what's going on, and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm kind of upset. Then fucking go and say something. You'll feel a lot better for it. Oh, well, what if nothing happens? You know what? Something did happen. You went and said something about it. You went and gave that person that represents you a piece of your mind and said, I disapprove of what the fuck you're doing, Jack. I don't approve of this law, or I don't approve of that law. I don't approve of what we're trying to do with this. I don't want new taxes here. We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be doing that. Go and say it. Don't be rude about it. I mean, I understand getting a little fired up, but go and articulate yourself properly like a good American. Okay. Just like Scott Jennings. This guy's a fucking warrior.
Don't people in America have the constitutional right to protest? Yes.
I fucking hate this argument. Don't Americans have the right to protest? No, stupid. You have the right to peaceably assemble and debate your ideas in an intellectual manner. Okay. Not impeding investigation or law enforcement. You simple douche nugget. I bet you it doesn't matter how much you start here at the wrist and come down, and doesn't matter. You still smell like douche and water. You fucking nugget.
Yes or no?
They do. I would just point out to you, though, that in a court case in Minnesota this week, there was a district court ruling that was overturned by the 8th Circuit. And the panel of the 8th Circuit said they had reviewed hours and hours of footage from all these supposed protests. And even though some people were doing protected speech and protected protests, that much of the time it crossed the line, that it was not protest activity. So it's not all just protesting. Some of it is crossing the line. Some of it is designed to impede federal law enforcement. And that is a crime, is it not? Yeah.
That is a crime. It 100% is a fucking crime. It's okay. If you want to look like a bozo out there with your sign that says whatever it says on there, fuck ICE, or, no one's illegal on stolen land, or whatever stupid fucking shit you guys protest. It's all different every day. Tomorrow you'll be protesting fucking dictators in Venezuela or Cuba or whatever. Speaking of which, they all flew down to Cuba to try to protest down there, and that went over like a fucking fart in church. They ended up just partying at a hotel, a luxury hotel, while the entire country was having rolling blackouts. But, these crony liberators are, they're fantastic. Just like this fucking bozo right here. It's one thing to stand on the side of the road. It's another. Listen, if you have a scanner, like a police radio, right? A scanner, you can go and videotape law enforcement doing their job. You can do that if you feel like you need to hold them accountable. There's a guy that's over in Brattleboro, Vermont, Planet Hank. He's great. He does that. That's what he does. He listens to it, and he goes and he updates people on what's going on in the area, and like in real time. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes he catches these people in protests and whatever. But it's one thing when you're standing on the side of the road, streaming it on TikTok or whatever it is that you do. It's another when you're harassing law enforcement, or you're getting too close, or you're not listening, or you're following them purposely to try to, impede in whatever way that these fucking liberals impede. And they do it. They have mock. I have a short. Go through my fucking playlist of shorts that I have for you. There's like fucking 200 of them. Okay. There's one in there that's that is showing these people doing mock simulations of ICE detaining individuals and how to impede without impeding, I guess you could say. When they're blowing the fucking dog whistles or the rape whistles, and they're fucking, I'm getting too close. Oh, what do you mean? I am backing up, and I'm going to still yell and scream and cause more of a problem and more of a fucking headache. Because, whatever the case may be, I'm totally gone brain dead. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to be, is that these people are just, their brain is mush. And we should still try to continue to encourage them to be good Americans, in my opinion. Oh, wow. We're getting into the last couple videos here. Oh, wow. How long have we been doing? Oh, shit. See? I always lose track of time because I'm sitting here digressing. But this dude that's talking to Scott Jennings right now, he's totally off base. He has no idea what he's talking about. To sit here and say that people have the right to go and harass law enforcement, like, these guys are just doing their fucking jobs. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Okay. ICE has been around for a very long time. Before it was ICE, it was, INS. Before it was INS, it was Customs. Okay. They still refer to Customs as sometimes. Okay. So let's call a fucking spade and stop acting like a goddamn baby. And grow the fuck up. We don't need this stuff here. This is not what makes a diversity is not our strength here in America. Unity is, you fucking dummies. And you look like a goddamn fool when you're out here protesting every Tom, Dick, and fucking Harry bozo shit that you want to think to protest. It's just, enough is enough. And then you got these people on CNN, which they still get a lot of views, even though they're a shit network. Been caught lying so many times.
First of all, it's extremely sad and unfortunate that someone died. I mean, with political fighting and disagreements aside, it's terrible. You don't want people to die in law enforcement situations or otherwise. But it strikes me that we are undergoing an epidemic of political vigilantism right now. Mm-hmm. Why are people showing up in vehicles, in convoys, not just in Minneapolis, but all over the country, in an effort to obstruct lawful federal law enforcement activities? This is not an isolated incident. We have had hundreds of car ram-ins against ICE agents all over the country. According to DHS, this lady in this car today, along with other vehicles, have been tracking ICE agents around.
Look at the scowl on her face.
That they can drive
so awesome
into a federal law enforcement situation, and that is an appropriate thing to do. I understand they don't like the fact that these agents are enforcing existing immigration law, but that's not how we change laws in this country. If you don't like a law, you talk to the politicians. You don't drive your car into the middle of a building or a law enforcement situation that's being...
Why? Thank you, Scott Jennings. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Why should that have to be fucking told to anybody? It's like, why are you freaking out? Oh, because you got caught. Right? Everybody's like, oh, you can't touch me. You can't touch me until you cross the line. And then the cop's like, get out of your fucking vehicle now. And you're like, whoa, wait, I was just protesting. Were you? Happens all the fucking time. I can't tell you. We're going to watch some videos next week about people impeding in law enforcement. Next Thursday, it'll be a little bit more because Sunday is the reaction day. But what I'm saying to you is it happens all the time. All the fucking time. People argue and impede all the fucking time. I watched a kid today, or not watched, but I was listening to a kid today. He had a gun in his ass crack. He was impeding And all he had to do was just get out of the fucking car so the car could be searched. He had a gun in his ass crack. What did he do? He started fucking flipping out, freaking out, calling people rookies, being an idiot. What do you think happened to that kid? He didn't get shot, even though he was black, but he didn't get shot. He just got handcuffed, and then now he's going to be going to fucking prison for a little bit. It's crazy. I'm following the law. Are you? Then why the fuck are you here right now? We just want to hold accountability. That's what the fucking body cam's for, dummy. Get out of here. Mind your fucking business. How about that? You're fucking up my investigation right now. Oh, look at that. Pasquale just ran away. Oh, great. Good job, genius. That man's wanted for skull fucking children. Good job. Good for you. I don't care. You're a body snatcher. So isn't that guy right here. He's literally running with the dead body across his shoulder right now. And the dogs, yep. Oh, look, they let the canines after him. Look at that. That's cool. We should be watching that. But instead, I'm arguing with you, you crazy bitch. What the fuck are you doing here?
Occupied by the people who are simply there to enforce the law. If I don't like how much the IRS is charging me in taxes, I don't drive my car into the Treasury Department, try to run somebody over. I call my
I mean,
vigilantism is being encouraged by Democratic officials
crazy,
like the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, Peggy Flanagan, who earlier this year told people to, quote, put your bodies on the line, and Tim Walz calling these guys Gestapo all year. What do you think happens when you radicalize a base of people about this?
A base of people that are either going into therapy, or they take, antidepressants, anti-anxieties, things like that. These people are highly manipulated, 100%. I just never thought that I would see the day to where average citizens would be so radical and ram their vehicles into officers over a foreigner that's taking advantage of the system. They deserve it. They came from another country that was just so oppressed. Is it? Meanwhile, Timbuktu is fucking funneling money back to Zimbabwe. Our money. The same reason why your car needs an alignment, because the roads are shit and we can't get the fucking plowing done. Because we're giving it all to these fucking hobos that don't respect shit. They don't come here to assimilate. They come here to take advantage. Get fucking real with yourself. Get real. If you think that supporting somebody driving over another individual, enforcing laws that our constituents, the people that represented us, that we voted for, agreed on. You have to trust and respect the fucking process for it to work. If you don't respect the process, then it'll never fucking work. If you're always trying to get things to work in your fucking favor, then nothing is ever going to work out in your favor because you're always changing shit. So nothing can ever fucking work out, dummy. And it's just crazy. These people are doing this kind of stuff. We're not unified. We are so blown apart. How can I have a reasonable conversation with an individual that thinks it's okay to shoot somebody in the back of the head because they're a CEO of a healthcare organization? Luigi Mangione. And there are plenty of people, actually a bank that I not work for, but a bank that I go to and deposit my money, my hard-earned dollars in there, so then the fucking government can take it from me. But that's not what we're talking about. What I'm talking about is that one of the tellers there was like, yeah, I think Luigi Mangione is a fucking hero. I stopped dead in my tracks. I'm like, you fucking what? You think it's okay to walk up and shoot somebody in the back of the head? Huh? That's where, if there's a corporation that's doing that kind of stuff, That's where you, as a citizen, put the pressure on the government to make sure that it's being taken care of, because the responsibility of the government is the safety and security of the individuals that live within the state or within the country. That's their responsibility, is to you, we, the people. And your responsibility is to keep those motherfuckers in check. But how can you have a conversation with an individual that's that crazy to think that it's okay to murder somebody because they make too much money? Well, what about everybody? There's just a huge difference in wealth, distribution and wealth, and everybody should just have whatever they want because that's how it works, right? Well, the earth produces fruits and foods. Yeah, well, guess what? You're still going to have to go out and pluck those fruits and foods, fuckface. And there are going to be some people that are better at doing that than you. Why the fuck are you crying about it? You're saying it's okay to eliminate an individual because they make more money than you? Well, think about how many people he denied from getting health care services. Well, then that, again, comes to the government and you say, hey, listen, Humana, or not Humana, but General Life or whatever the fuck they were, they're putting in too much time, or they're denying too many individuals life-saving treatments. We need to investigate this. Obviously, they're not going to do it because look at all the fraud that was running rampant from the state that the man was in Michigan. Or not, was it Michigan? Minnesota? One of the two? It's in that area, okay? It does matter. The information does matter, but you can go look it up online because I'm running out of fucking time, okay? I'm on that 2-hour mark. God damn it.
You not to put a boy in a teenage girl's locker room, how will I ever listen to your plan for taxes and the economy?
Right.
I will not, because I've already concluded you're a lunatic.
You're absolutely fucking insane. Absolutely. Let's listen to that again. That was so refreshing. Scott Jennings, you're a fucking legend.
If I can't trust you not to put a boy in a teenage girl's locker room, how will I ever listen to your plan for taxes and the economy?
Right.
I will not, because I've already concluded you're a lunatic.
Amen, dude. Oh, man, that's a mic drop there. And on that note, thank you guys so very much for liking, watching, loving everything that we do here at the OTPH Show. You know, raw stealing, sex appeal, gravy train on biscuit wheels. And thank you for being here with me this evening. Scan the QR code. That's the best way to support the show. The best way to support the show for free. So like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for like, sharing, and subscribing and being here with me this evening. And like I always say, love your neighbor, love your family. Most importantly, love you. You can't love the other two without you. I love you. God bless you. And I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys. Fucking stop it, dude. This is brother. That was great. Yes, you too, brother. Thank you for being here this evening. I really do appreciate it. This is Under the Knee on Ice. This is oh my gosh, this is about George Floyd. The AI is incredible. I will say that. Thank you guys for being here. Love your neighbor, love your family. Most importantly, love you. You can't love the other two without you. I love you. God bless you. Make sure you ring my fucking bell. Okay, scan the QR code up in the corner. And also, make sure you watch out for my shorts and everything like that. I read all of your comments, and I respond to most of you unless it's something stupid. But I will read them and answer them in some way. And like I always say, love your neighbor, love your family. Most importantly, love you. You can't love the other two without you. I love you. God bless you. And I'll see you on the next one Sunday.
I can't breathe, I'm trying to rise awake.
When disaster hits, you don't want excuses. You want action and peace of mind. And emergency storable food from My Patriot Supply does just that, delivering over 2,000 calories a day in 8 hearty varieties, good for over 25 years. That's 25 years of protection for when the stinky stuff hits the fan. So scan the QR code up in the corner or click the link down in the description and protect you and your family for when emergency strikes. All orders before 3 p.m. ships same day, and anything over $150 ships for free. Remember, calories equal energy, and energy equals survival. Be ready for anything before anything happens with My Patriot Supply. Now back to the show.